My name is Debby Stenson, and I am actually 61 years old today. And I'm at a very interesting part of my life because I'm about to retire from my work, which is quite an exciting time. The only place I have lived outside of Vancouver is I lived on Bowen Island for 4 years. That's the furthest away I've gone, otherwise I've been on the North Shore my whole life. I went to school in North Van. Both my parents passed away when I was in my 20s. So I lost my mom when I was 20 and lost my dad when I was 24. And so I think how the rest of my life has gone has been very different. I was forced to really grow up and accept responsibility a lot earlier in my life. And I look at people that I know who have their parents and how much they rely on their parents, and I just don't have that. I don't even know what that would be like. My mom had cancer, so that was kind of expected, although it was, even though I knew she was dying, when she was gone, it was just the biggest emptiness I have ever, you just can't imagine. I was like, but my dad died very suddenly, so that was a big shock. And I guess in my older life, my husband has had 3 heart attacks. And when he had his first heart attack, that was a shock because he has none of the conditions that one would have expected him to have a heart attack. And it's kind of shaped the rest of our married life because that's always in the back of my mind. And since he's had 2 heart attacks since then, you know, you're just always sort of, you're thinking through what would happen if and what could we do to make sure that doesn't happen again. I wanted to be an interior designer. From quite a young age, I wanted to be an interior designer. And I started my university career here. The first year that CAP opened here, I started just in general studies, and I put an application in to be an interior designer at Ryerson back in Toronto. Got called back for an interview, was flat out rejected, did not have the art background, and it was quite devastating and really changed the course of my career. And I came back to CAP and I took a geography course with an instructor here by the name of Gordon Wilson, which was a life-changing course. One course changed the whole dynamic of the direction of my life. Loved this course, ended up doing a degree in geography. And when I finished school, oddly enough, there was a job advertised at the North Van. They were just starting to hire female dispatchers for the fire department, and I thought that would be such a cool job. So I applied, made it through a round of interviews, and actually ended up not getting the job because the fire chief felt I was overqualified and didn't think I would make a life career out of it, which of course I had no intention of, so that was a pretty accurate read on it. And I went back to the personnel department, which is what it was called then, at North Van District, and sort of complained to the interim manager. And he listened to me for a few minutes, and then he said, yeah, that's really too bad you didn't get this, but you know, I have a job here that's right in the field that you're trained in. Perhaps you'd be interested in that. And that's what got me started in city planning. And I worked there for a few months and ended up then going and taking a job in the city of Burnaby. Worked there for 11 years. And in city planning, basically. For a number of years, I worked in a site office where we gave out government grants to homeowners in the area, and we did local neighborhood planning, so we got government grants to build parks and community centers and those kind of things. And then I started more on social planning, doing work with, not in planning them, but more in sort of looking at what the distribution was of seniors' facilities and daycare centers and those kind of things. So I did that for a few years. Did a lot of report writing when I worked for the city of Burnaby. You write a lot of reports to council whenever. And there was a planner who had retired, and they had nobody to put together a big capital budget submission. And I love doing those kind of things, and I took it on knowing nothing. And I managed to work my way through it, and I learned a ton as I was doing it, and I managed to hold the whole thing together. And I felt really proud of myself that I had done a project that I knew nothing about, and I was able to do it as well as somebody had been doing it for years. And then I got this job at Vancouver School Board, and that was when I got more into the facilities end and doing the renovations, and that was a real morphing. I just kind of gained the knowledge as I went, and I worked with a lot of architects who were very supportive of when I asked questions, they would answer them, and so I learned a lot. And oddly enough, I've kind of come full circle because I did geography, I did city planning, then I went to the school board, did facilities planning, and coming here, and now a lot of the work that I do space planning, so in a way I do kind of do interior design. And one of my goals for when I retire is that I'd love to get into home staging, which is another kind of interior design. So I think it's a passion I've never really let go of. I just have never, yeah. So also as a mother, I've raised 2 boys who are now 18 and 20. And I guess if there's anything I could do again in my life, as a parent, once you've raised your kids, boy, you wish you could go back and do it all over again, knowing what you know now. I think I raised my kids the way I was raised. So you grow up, you go to school, you do well in school, you kind of take that narrow path, you finish school, you go to post-secondary, and you get a job. And I think I wish I had exposed my kids to more adventure and, maybe taken a year out and gone and lived in another country. Or I see things on the internet where parents take their kids and they go and they do a world tour and they go to places of extreme poverty and they expose their kids to that. I think that would have been a much more well-rounded education for my kids than what they've seen, because what they've seen is basically a really opulent lifestyle in Vancouver. They haven't really seen the other side. So I think I might have done that differently. And in our family, my husband did the part of spending lots of time with other families and found that just too hectic. And so when we've raised our family, we've pretty kept to ourselves and holidayed by ourselves. And in hindsight, I wish we had been able to do more holidays with other people, because I think my kids would be more open to giving up the things that they have for other people if that had been a bigger part of their life. Expo 86, that happened when I was in my 20s, I think. I was 30. You can do the math. Yeah, that was very exciting because it was something where people from all over the world came to see our city, and because I hadn't at that point traveled a lot, it sort of gave us an opportunity to see what a lot of the rest of the world was like, because the rest of the world brought their pavilions here, so you could go and see what the culture would be like in different countries through Expo. So that was exciting. In 2008, we went on a family mission trip. We took our whole family and went down to Mexico and helped to build an orphanage. And so I do that kind of volunteer work, and I'm hoping that when I'm retired that I can do more of that kind of volunteer work. It was hard to see the kind of situation that a lot of people live in, and at one point we took a van and we loaded it up with groceries and we went out to this really low income area, and as we parked the van, you just see people just coming out of the hills. Again, it was kind of obvious that they're so dependent on that, and it helps you to realize how much we have and we just take it for granted. And we think, oh, we need the new phone, we need the new car. Those people just needed food, that's all they needed. It was an interesting experience for us because our whole family went, and so my kids were there and they experienced that. I think I would have liked it for myself if I was more hands-on. My husband was off at the job site and he was actually working on the construction, and I wasn't. And the other thing I found is I didn't speak Spanish, and I found that really intimidating. So some of the conversations that you might have gotten into with the actual people that were working at the orphanage or the children at the orphanage, I didn't have an opportunity to do that. And one of the really critical things that's come up to my husband and I right now as we're looking at our finances as I'm getting ready to retire is we realized that at times in our life when we had lots of money, we made really bad financial decisions. And now that we have not as much money and are going to a stage of having a lot less money, we're really making far cleaner decisions. We're clearer on what we should be doing, and we're, I think, far better stewards of our money. So that's a piece of wisdom that I wish I had a lot earlier. I often think if I had worked full-time for my whole life, because I took a break off to raise my kids, that we'd have a lot more money. But then I think, if we made more money and we didn't realize this critical piece of information, we probably wouldn't have.